Hey guys, so today I've got a McLane Edger. I don't know if this was a good or bad choice to buy. I'm kind of regretting it now. So I was told that it's just leaking oil from the main seal here, because this side's covered in oil. I was like, oh, that's not bad. That's an easy fix. So I bought it. Then I started to look at it more. It's missing the spring that holds the assembly on, so the person just threw a random spring on that's incorrect. This is pretty worn, so it moves a lot. That's a problem. It's missing the flapper assembly. And then something else I noticed, well, a few other things. So that little clip, it needed to be kind of clamped down. So instead they cut holes in it, put a clamp around it. Fuel tank cap is wrong. That's the wrong cap for this motor. Also missing the air filter and the air filter cover. Didn't notice that. It starts great. And then also this is an aftermarket recoil that I think is a piece of garbage. So I'm kind of regretting this. It was only 85 bucks, but you can see, I mean, kind of in disappointing shape. So, and I'm missing one grip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it up because it's too oily to work on. And then I'm gonna start tearing apart the side, put the O-ring on, and then try. So the reason I'm not happy with that recoil, I started it up and I thought the engine was knocking. So that recoil looks like it's on wrong and it looks off-centered and it makes terrible noise. All right, let's start. All right, so I got cleaned up. So I'm gonna start by taking the spark plug out, seeing how bad it is. Somebody cleaned this up for sure. Inside it looks pretty bad, but I'm not gonna change this right now. And then first change this oil seal. So it leaks really, really bad. I mean, this thing was covered and I have an extra one, so that'll be the first thing to change. Should be pretty easy. I've done it before on an older version of this engine, and well, it's just a matter of gaining access, popping it out, and then putting a new one in. Yeah. All right. A little Allen screw. Well, this is changing into a different project. So I want to put an Allen wrench in here, and it has a ton of play, both in and out and up and down. So I'm just gonna take the engine off because this engine's shot. The pulley is definitely something I can use. Gas tank, carburetor, all that runs fine. Maybe I'll fix the motor. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna take it off and I'll see. Make a decision from there. I guess this kind of is my lesson learned. Always start it. You know, somebody says it runs fine. Just needs, you know, one thing. Take a little more look. I mean, I didn't pay a ton, but I wouldn't have paid 85. I would have paid 40. Because there are good parts on this, but oh well, you win some, you lose some. Oh, now I'm just looking. Yeah, this is a real piece of junk. It's multiple frames put together to make one unit. So this is supposed to be a black unit, but these cross beams are red and the one side is yellow. So somebody definitely had a bunch of junk lying around, and I guess I got duped. It's the only way to put it. And then I'm looking, this blade guard is welded all the way through, and the blade guard and the belt guard. So I should have been more careful. Well, at least I can sell some of the pieces and go from there, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this now because it's just junk, in my opinion. Too much effort to go through, you know, replace pieces that are broken and get it really to a decent level. And I'm not going to sell something like this to somebody. I want to sell something that's, at least decent. So let me lift the motor off and then I'm going to start tearing the motor apart. So I'm actually having a little hard time getting the throttle cable out. Looks like it just goes right from the back there, and it won't pop out. So I got to take the fuel tank off to gain better access so I can see what's going on. But the motor is loose, it's just the throttle cable. And let's see if we can get this off. Well, finally got it off. I think I found the best part was the gas. It looked like the guy just filled it up. So the gas was fresh and the tank was full. Because everything else is looking more and more like garbage. Let me pull the engine off. I'm gonna start tearing this apart. But let's take a quick look at the frame. So, frame's multiple pieces. Like the engine mount on the left was from a red one, I guess. On the right, it looks like it's from a red one. This was from a red one. This is all welded. This is welded on the back side. Yeah, I just got taken. So, well, on to the engine. Hopefully something can be useful. Well, let's tear this baby apart. So, I think it still has some oil in it. So I definitely want to get that out. And then take the recoil off, flywheel. Oh my God, yep, this is awful. Guess I could have looked at that and saw that's completely gray, so it's shot. Well, oh well. I think another thing they did was they just added oil so it sounded better than it was, because this thing usually empties out one of these 3.5 engines pretty quick. And I mean, this oil is gray, so it has a lot of metal in it. Oh well. Pull these off. Hopefully the ignition coil can be used. So, I mean, I did start it. It ran. It started right up, so I'm sure I can use the carburetor. Carburetor, muffler, ignition coil, recoil. A bunch of little pieces can get sold, but that's about it. Just taking off the governor spring right now. Pop the kill switch off, and then I'm just gonna take the governor off any way I can. There it goes, finally. So, well, that's great. So this is garbage. I guess actually maybe it can be used. They welded on the bolts on the back because nothing fit right. That's even more of a mess. At least it looks like it has a Briggs ignition coil on it. So that could be used or something. Okay, I did get him. All right, well, at least this should be able to be used. I don't know if it's a Briggs or not. It says 2005. And this, when I looked up the year on here, it was 2005. So at least that's worth something. Actually, the elbows are still soft, so that can be used on something else. Let's take the flywheel off. Oh, I gotta get some other tools, and let me come back in a bit. All right, this is a 15/16 nut. Came right off. Let's pop this. Well, at least the flywheel's good. Oh, no. Flywheel's messed up from where it was rubbing because motor shot. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, let's see what I can get off it from these. That's a mess. So I think the carburetor's actually decent. It was running just fine, so let's just keep stripping everything down till there's nothing left but parts and pieces. No. Let me get another socket set. See, T30, yeah. Seems like it fit okay. You know, I think somebody was in here, and this is what's kind of aggravating, because these bolts were not very tight at all. So I'd say, they knew exactly what this was, and that was junk. All right, well, and take the bleeder off too. This is, what size is that? 5/16. So these small ones seem to either be 1/4 or 5/16. So that can be good. I'm gonna pull this gasket off, depending. All right, this gasket's still good. Can be cleaned up. So, oh, that valve spring wasn't on correctly. It was to the side, or it's bent. One of the two, or maybe a combination of both. See, are these 1/2 inch? Yep. I was going to be more careful, but no point. So, see if I can hold it and kind of get it. Just being lazy so I don't have to get another wrench set. Crescent wrench. Yeah, it worked. Pulled it out a bit. Well, it's got a genuine Briggs gasket to it. Yeah. It is. Look at a lot of movement back there. All right, let me try to get this pulley off. I was trying a bit before. It seemed the Allen screw did not want to come, but I definitely want to save this because I think this pulley might actually be useful for something later. So let me see. No, I don't want to do that. Let me get that off, then turn the camera back on. All right, so I got it. Here's the trick. 5/32. Then this is just a 1/2 inch wrench. Doesn't matter the size. But to gain leverage, and this has so much play, I just put it on there, and then came loose. So I want to save the pulley for sure. I had a couple experiences with these small engines, and I could not save the pulleys. And it's $20 for another pulley, so why ruin one when I can't? I don't need to. And I bought a 5 horsepower, and it had a go-kart clutch on it. Holy cow, that sucker was on there. I couldn't for the life of me get it off. I was trying and trying and trying. Eventually I cut it. So I have a pulley puller, and I'm gonna have to get that and just take it off camera. Well, that was terrible to get off. Had to get out the pneumatic gun. Finally got it. It did not want to come off. So it also looks like the key is sheared. The key is sheared. Something's weird. It looks like it. I think so. Hold on now. There's something going on. I don't know. I'm going to clean this up and figure it out later. But for now, let's just take the side off, go from there. And I'll just see if this works. Yep. this was junk. No doubt about that. Pull the camshaft off. Tappets out. It's just silver. Oh boy. That's funny. Well, some of these parts will still be good. It's not completely junk, but most of it is. But I am gonna call it quits for now. Oil dipper is okay. We'll see if I'm sure the crankshaft is bad. Piston rod, piston. So, pretty much scrap, but I am done for now, and I'll do this a little more in a bit. All right, almost done. I'm gonna take the valves out. I'm just gonna so it's the block only. I don't have the actual valve removal tool, so if you hold them and kind of pull up, looks like that's how I dislodged the exhaust side, and hopefully I can dislodge the intake the same way. I mean, I'm not rebuilding this engine or anything, so I don't care too much, but otherwise I wouldn't do it like this. I would actually go out and buy the tool. All right, got it free. Next step is piston. 2 more bolts and I am done. Alrighty, what size are they? Nope. Nope. Maybe 11/32 or 5/16. Nope. 5/16 it is. This really made a mess out of everything though, that's for sure. All right, bottom bolt and the oil dipper. Let's see if I can just finish getting this by hand. Yeah. And then I can pop the connecting rod off, piston out, crankshaft out, and we're done. So a little disappointing. I was hoping to fix this and as a project and have that. But oh well. That came off. Oh, it is. It is bad. It is very bad. And the crankshaft. Oh, so I don't know if this is rebuildable or not. I guess you could have this machined, and I mean, oh, the oil seals are obviously shot, But I guess you could machine it, clean up, rebuild it, but I'm sure the parts aren't worth it. I'm sure the parts alone would be over $100, and you can buy a motor dirt cheap. You can buy a brand new, what is it, 550 series for about $200. And this is a 15-year-old, you know, recoil's a little wonky used motor, so that's not gonna happen. Thanks for watching.